All right, everyone. It must be Friday because it's time for another Q&A with Alan and Marshall, or Marshall Atkinson.
I'm Alan Howe. And hopefully, man, people are watching because it looks like we don't have LinkedIn. It has been a great technical.
We had an issue and something happened, and the only way to correct it was to totally delete the broadcast and re-add it, and we're not doing that. So if you found your way over here from LinkedIn, thank you.
Right.
But anyway, sometimes there's tech issues, it's just one of those things, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, wanted to talk about where I've been this week. And you were traveling like you always do, right?
I was in Cincinnati I was in Cincinnati, Metro Cincinnati, which is Aurora, Indiana. I had to go down there.
Yeah.
Saw a guy had a blue water machine running great. And then up into Indianapolis and Lafayette, Indiana. And it's always a trip. Business travel looks glamorous, but it's really not. We were talking travel issues. You had some, and
So that's great. And so you were in Cincinnati. Did you have some of the chili spaghetti stuff?
I did not have any. I did not stop at Skyline.
That's really weird to me.
No, you know what it is, so I grew up in Detroit. Coney dogs are like king. You can insult our mother. You're not allowed to insult the Coney dog.
I like chili on a hot dog, but chili and spaghetti doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so when I got hired by J Products in the 80s, I knew Coney's, and I wasn't a big chili fan of beans and the chili and stuff, which people from Texas, that's not chili. I get it. But I go and interview, and I go to lunch with this company with J Products, and this is in the days, I'm 20, I'm in a suit and tie because that's what you did. On there. They said, well, let's go to lunch. They go, we'll go to the chili parlor, which is Skyline. That's what it was called. Just chili parlors are called. And it's Coney's and stuff. And I'm like, with spaghetti, I had never heard that. I ended up loving it. And their Coney's are different. It's just a different sauce and stuff. Pretty incredible. So I've learned to love it and a connoisseur of which chili parlors and stuff I like. But I did not go because it's not real healthy for you. And at all.
Anyway, so I was in Philadelphia for the Graphics Pro Expo.
Did you have a cheesesteak?
I did not have a cheesesteak.
We both failed.
I barely had time to eat. I was so busy. So I got in on Wednesday night, and I ordered P.F. Chang's. That's kind of my go-to road kind of thing. If there's P.F. Chang's, because that's really good, and I like Chinese food. So,
do you order it just to your hotel?
Well, I thought about going out, and then I'm like, I was just tired from the trip, and it's like, it's going to be so much better for me just to kick off my shoes and just, watch TV and eat dinner and just relax and not get in an Uber and go somewhere and so I didn't do that.
Same way. Yeah.
So
times and this is glamorous travel. There are times, Marshall, if I'm in a hotel, I'll just go down to what they have their little marketplace, and I'll get a frozen dinner and stuff and heat it in the microwave and stuff. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind rewarding because I just use DoorDash and have it delivered. So anyway, enough of that, right? But so I was at this trade show, and it's a smaller show, but I talked to how I am. I talked to a lot of people, and so I have a lot of interesting, I think, insights on what people are thinking, and of course we're going to share that on our show today. And it's really good when you talk to people in different parts of the country to kind of understand what they're thinking about. And there was a wide range of people there. And so I think that's going to be kind of an interesting kind of take when we get to that part. Right?
Yeah. And it will be, because that Philadelphia show, there's been times where I've been there. Remember when it used to be incredible, and the last couple of times I was there, it was just awful. So it'll be interesting to get your take on it.
Well, it is what it is. So let's say hi to some folks. So Charles is here. Hey, Charles, good seeing you.
Mexico.
And Richard says, hello from the Wyandotte Street Art Fair. Actually, a history of screen printing book. Congratulations.
Hey, and if anybody wants one of those books, contact Richard Greaves. Man, he'll ship them out to you and do it. So
I know he didn't write it, but I had him sign it.
Just because Richard Greaves is history, is screen part of screen.
Yeah, it was kind of fun, right? And so speaking of books, like look what I got in the mail the other day, right? It's the new Midjourney book from Midjourney.
Oh, I didn't know Midjourney had a book.
And then the book I read on the plane was Gary Vee's new book, Day Trading Attention.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's all about Gary Vee's take on social media. Mm-hmm. So I read about half of it.
Look who just popped online. Good to see him.
Huh?
Look who just popped online.
Yes, Mike. Yes.
Michael, how are you doing, bud?
Yeah. Long time no chat. Hey, good seeing you, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining. I guess the link I sent you worked. So glad to see that. So anyway, so that's what's going on. You ready to get into our first topic?
Yeah, and this is one that I heard about yesterday, and I messaged you. I don't know if you caught wind of it, or are we the first to break this?
Traveling and busy and everything, and so Color Reel has filed for bankruptcy, and Alan sent me a little message that says, "Hey, what do you hear? What do you know?" And then I asked a couple people, and they had all heard the same thing, but nobody had any proof, right?
Right.
And so here's just so you know, we're not gossipers,
no.
Right? Here is two articles, one from Print Week that talks about it, and here's one from Rivet, whoever Rivet is. Color Reel Group files for bankruptcy, right?
Yeah.
And remember, that doesn't mean this company's out of business. It just means they're restructuring their debt, right? And so I think there's some challenges in the industry with equipment, right?
Yeah. And both those articles give it a little different, some more information, some less. So, and I just found those this morning.
Right.
And I think the one is dated today. So, yeah.
Is it? Well, this is July 10th.
Oh, okay. And the other one's July 12th. Yeah.
July 12th is today, right? So,
yeah.
So here's a good example. If you don't know what Color Reel is, it's the ability to have, instead of changing thread colors on your embroidery machine like everybody does, right? There's only one thread. And then what this does is it dyes the thread as it's sewing.
Yep.
And so here's an example of a chameleon, embroidered chameleon, right? And of course, you can see it shifts from green to yellow to orange. It's Roy G. Biv right here, I guess, right?
Yep.
And that's just amazing, right? It's just one thread doing that whole thing. But I think, and I was telling you before the show started, I always found that is an interesting thing. If you've got a design like that, you're doing some rainbow stuff, and it doesn't have to be all the colors, it's just two colors or whatever. But, you can achieve that effect with normal embroidery.
Right.
Just changing the thread colors. I mean, just doing that blend. You can certainly do that. And how I know that is because I've designed stuff that did that, right? And then the other thing I think is it kind of there's no hard stop to it. And so if you're going, if you're doing a logo that's green, yellow, and red, right? Each of these little sections is a different color. It's hard for Color Reel to stop and start, right? And so that's not what it does. So I think the idea behind it of dyeing the thread, I love that, right? Because there's only one consumable. Mm-hmm. Well, actually two. You've got the thread, and then you got the dye.
Right.
So that's just really interesting. And they've had success, and it's been around for what, 5 years maybe?
Something like that. I know when it first came out, it was real interesting. And, it's not for everybody because the price.
2018 winter, right? So that's 6 years. There you go. I was almost right.
But I think it came to the States later than that because this is a Swedish company. Swedish or Swedish, right?
Yeah. right?
Yeah, Sweden. Again, I'm confused that in Switzerland. Switzerland and Sweden.
Color Real Group AB, Swedish company known for its instant
Sweden.
thread dyeing technology.
Yep. But it came there and it was really interesting. Now, the people I know that have them, they just don't have one. They have like multiple ones.
Yeah.
Um,
So we've only sold 90. They have 90 customers in 20 countries. 90 customers is not that many customers.
no, not at all. And they're about 40 grand a piece, I thought.
Yeah. So
That's 90 customers. But like I said, this one company I was at who told me about it, that he just heard it from another company out of Chicago, because he has them, and they had 5. So I think they were like anywhere from 35 to 40 grand a piece. So he had 5. It's like that's almost $250,000. But yeah, interesting.
yeah. So I think it's a great idea. It's great technology, and I'd love to see where this goes. And of course, they're going to do whatever they're going to do, right? And but let's just say 90 customers, if they have, I don't know, 1.5 per customer, right? So what is that? Maybe one that's 90 times 1.5 would be 135 people times $40,000. What is that? That's $5.4 million in revenue in 6 years. So divide that by 6, right? That's only 900 grand a year, right?
Yeah. Now the question is, what are they doing consumable wise too, and what's the?
Yeah. So I don't know what they're.
It's not a lot. So
let's just add another 2 or 3 million to that, right? That's still not a whole lot of money, right? And so it's understandable that they've got this great idea that just isn't landing the way they probably want.
Well, and that's what they said. It's just not expanding it. It's new technology. It's great, and yeah, there's big benefits of that as far as.
Here's the question: does it solve a problem that doesn't exist?
And I don't know embroidery well enough, Marshall.
Well, okay. What
so the thing,
you're wearing an embroidered polo right now,
right?
So what's it? Blue and green, right? Blue and green.
Yep.
Okay. The color wheel couldn't sew that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about it
because it has to have that blend, right?
True.
It doesn't have blue and then instantly green, right?
Yeah.
To me, that's the sticky part, right? So you think about how many embroidery heads there are on the planet. I mean, what kind of crazy number is that, right? And then think about if it could have a hard start and stop, how that would it would land so much better.
Right. Yeah, and I don't know. That's a good question. I'll ask that some of my clients that have those.
Because every demo I've seen, I've always seen that something like this.
All the blend.
Where it's like a chameleon, right? So it's something like this, which is the chameleon. You don't see a logo like you're wearing.
Right.
Ever. Okay. And I think that's the reason why you've only got 90 customers.
Some of the other value is that it can do PMS colors, which is difficult. And it cuts down on your SKUs of obscure threads.
You're just dyeing it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. So, anyway, they have a lot of patents, right? Where's a
bunch? 127.
120 patents, right? 120 granted patents across 45 markets. Okay, that means that some of these are same patent in multiple markets. So maybe that's only 45 market patents.
Right.
Still a lot of patents, right? Yeah. I bet they end up making more money on the patents than they do the equipment.
Probably.
Okay. Anyway, so to me, it's very interesting. I'm not surprised it didn't gain legs, because when it came out, I actually had Eric Campbell like walk me through this whole thing so I could understand it at a trade show somewhere. I can't remember where we were. And I'm like, I don't understand how anybody would want it. That was my question. I don't understand why anybody would want this.
What did Eric say about it?
He liked it. He liked the idea of one thread, and he liked the blends, but he was in agreement that you have to totally redesign how you digitize things. And so there's some friction to use the thing, right? And so I don't know. I think this is a real interesting thing. I think it's one of these things where, it needs more development and work, I think, right? I don't know. Right. So Richard says, I've been impatient the current round of supply chain disruptions by me. Look at Rite Aid, Wendy's, Dollar Depot, and Domino Effect with the Delta Apparel umbrella closings. What? Why would Wendy's be affected by Delta Apparel? Or the Rite Aid, which is a drugstore?
Well, Rite Aid they're closing stores because they've been bought by CVS, and they're usually in competing markets, and they're shutting those down. Ours here in town has
into Delta Apparel. I don't understand.
I don't think there's an umbrella. I think it's a domino effect. He's talking about supply chains in general. Okay. Wendy's, I didn't know Wendy's has shut down things.
Yeah, his closest office supply store is 20 minutes away.
And
your closest office supply store is your house because you order it from Amazon. That's what they do. I would go to a store for copy paper when I can order it from Amazon delivered for free, and it's probably cheaper.
Yeah. I didn't know Wendy's was it would in Dollar Depot, I mean, there's just $1 million stores around. I can see those going down.
Oh, that's a race to the bottom. It
is for all of them.
Market, do you want to win that? You want to be the best dollar store out there?
Yeah, here around us, it's dollar stores, and they're everywhere, and they compete, and they just order so much. But again, I think their goal is only like 15 years, something like that. And there is an economy disruption in the small towns.
Like 15 years, they get out of business.
Something like that, maybe less, or maybe more. But
Dollar General's been around forever.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know. So I think it's interesting what's going on with things, and it's, to me, it's about are you changing with the market? Are you changing with how people are buying? What are you doing? I mean, let's just take the mall. Malls have been closing for 20 years, dude. I mean, It's not a sudden thing. It's not linked to the economy. It's linked to Amazon, right? And who goes to a store, right? And now there are stores that are just completely always gigantically packed with people. And I'll take an example. There's a sporting goods store called Shields here. Have you ever heard of that chain?
Never heard of them.
Shields is just it's the size of a Walmart. It's just and it's all sporting goods, multiple floors. It's just an amazing store. They have everything. I mean, everything. I bought my shoes there 8-9 months ago.
Yeah.
And what's amazing there is they have so much selection. They have tons of employees. Right in the middle of the store, it goes up 3 or 4 stories, is a Ferris wheel. Okay. It's just an incredible store, right? And you can try things out, and they just have everything. And so I think, there are stores that are doing well, and then there's other stores, and I think you have to kind of find your place, right? And if it's always about, do you understand your customer? Do you understand what they're there for? Do you understand what's going on? I don't know. I don't have an MBA, and I'm not an expert at that level of business or whatever, but I know as a consumer, like if I'm going to a store, it's got to have more than just the basic stuff, right?
Yeah.
These days, if I'm going to go get in my car and drive there, it seems like it needs to have something other than anything I can just order online.
And meanwhile, there are places that are doing well. I mean, Costco is all the rage now, even more than
Costco is crazy. You can't go on a weekend. Don't buy it.
I don't have a Costco near me, so I've only been to
Costco Tuesday night. That's when I go.
Yeah. I mean, the nearest Sam's Club is 30 minutes away from me.
Yeah.
So
need 4 gallons of peanut butter now, and that's what I want.
Yeah, exactly. But there are things I won't buy online. Unfortunately, they're fun things. Like, I do not buy fishing equipment and stuff online unless I already know I need this type of lure. I need a KVD 2.0 sexy shad lure. I can order those online. But if I'm going to see what's new, what's out there, I'm going to want to see it. I'm going to want to handle it. I'm going to want to talk.
You want to play with it, right?
Yeah, I'm going to want to touch it.
So here's the thing.
Yeah,
this is the problem that Best Buy had. Do you go to the sporting goods store and then play with the thing and then order it online because you can find it $40 cheaper?
No. If I'm ready and going to look and I'm thinking I'm going to look and see it. I'm one of those guys. I'm ready to purchase already. I'm just being confirmed.
Right.
And I have my questions. Best Buy a little different. I can order electronics and have on there, Marshall. You and I buy stuff. How many times are we still always looking, going, a new microphone? Ooh, interesting. I don't have that.
I order online, usually from Amazon.
And stuff I do, but like some stuff I go to Best Buy because I don't know anything about it and I don't want to, and I'll go there and look, and they do have usually a guy that's pretty knowledgeable.
Yeah.
And so it still comes down to service. And there, what can I do now? If I'm not sure, if I'm just looking, if I happen to be there to pick up something, and I'm just looking, I get asking. Well, now it's like I know enough. Well, now I'll start searching online and seeing what reviews and stuff like that.
Well, to me, if you're in a store, it's about the experience.
Oh yeah,
and also if you're online, it's about the experience, right?
Right.
And here's the other thing: is since COVID, my wife has yet to go into a grocery store. She uses the iPad. She orders the stuff. There's a time she's scheduled for pickup. She pulls into the parking lot. They throw it in the back of the car. And she drives home. The whole adventure is 20 minutes.
And I did that during COVID and when I was sick and stuff. I would do that, and I tend to get away from it because I'm always running in, just getting stuff. And I buy the same stuff all the time.
We've got some comments, so let's get to those, right? So Cindy says, she didn't see the time. Thanks for joining. Good morning.
And happy birthday, Cindy.
Oh, it's her birthday?
It was earlier this week.
That's great. That's awesome. And Ray's here. Greetings, Greenlings. And he's
Ray, real quick, you and I were in a conversation in the car earlier this week when I was driving, and you mentioned a movie, and I forgot to write it down what it was that I said there's one of the movies for this weekend.
What movie?
I don't remember. Text me or put it on here or something that I can do.
What is it about? I watch a million movies.
I don't even remember. We were talking because it was a political thing, and it reminded him of a scene in a movie. It reminded me of a scene in a different movie. So, but I don't remember what that movie is. I don't even remember it. But yeah, let me know.
Yeah, right. So he says brick and mortar stores must have enough on hand so you can see, feel, and measure. That makes the whole difference between online and brick and mortar. That makes brick and mortar work. Yes. And then he says, however, that's super expensive to stock the inventory. Right?
Yeah.
Davis is here. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Davis.
Cindy says, thank you. And then my local Walmart assistant manager told me that fully 50 to 60% of all their employees at any time are filling orders on the curbside carts. Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
We order from Walmart also, right? And so actually, we'll put it that way. My wife orders from Walmart.
Walmart's far, and I don't like Walmart. We have up here in Michigan, we have what's called a Meijer.
Meijer's great.
Yeah, so it's a Michigan store. By the way, I remember when Meijer was only in Michigan and stuff. So throw that little out there. But if I have to go, I'll go to. That's it, Ray. Thank you. I just saw. So Meijer's there, and I could do that. I just never order groceries or anything from there. If I need something from Meijer, I'm usually going in, and I just hate going to stores like that.
Yeah. So we're on this tangent because it's about understanding your customers and what they need.
Now, Ray put they've got it talking about how much it is for stock and everything. So like for us, I have suppliers on there. And sometimes suppliers go, do I have to stock it? Can I just order from you and have it drop shipped? Well, my deal is, if I'm going to do that, then what do I need you for?
Yeah.
You know,
Well, they have an ordering platform.
Yeah. Then they can just order from there. I'll just sell it direct. Why do I need you? We don't sell direct a lot. You can order online from us, but we like dealers because we're expecting them, one, to stock it. They have it there in a day, and they're selling them other products, and there's usually service.
Service explain how to use the product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, so there needs to be that. Yeah, there costs money to have it in stock. But that's where you need to talk to your client, going, how much you're going to use, what do you use, what do I need to stock? And I understand that not always it's impossible. When I worked for dealers, my thing was, no matter how much, if we had $2 billion of stock of different SKUs, someone's going to call and ask for something we don't have. It just happens. I get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But my thing is, a sales guy, whoa. And Marshall left us. So hopefully he'll be back. So my deal as a sales guy is,
don't press that button.
Don't hit that. You're going to want to press the button. It looks like you're going to, but don't do it. So anyways, what I was saying, so when I worked for a smaller dealer, they would say, yeah, we just tell them we don't have it and go on. I go, no, take the order. We call the manufacturer. If it's an obscure item we don't stock, usually I can get them to send it to the customer. Take the order. That's what we're to do. And if someone calls me, if you order a product, say, I don't know, Easy Solve 601, and my dealers, not a lot of them stock that, it's more for water-based and stuff, some do, and call me, hey, we got this new customer, I'll probably make an exception and we'll get it one through, but I'm going to want them to bring it in stock.
Right.
We're all about, taking care of the client.
Yeah.
So same thing, you've got to have, your suppliers, but that comes also with conversation, Marshall,
Mm-hmm.
where you can order from anybody on keyboard, but your business there, who are your suppliers and what kind of relationship do you have with them?
Well, and I think, we were talking earlier about sales folks, right? And and I think the reason why I've got some heroes in the industry is,
and I know I'm one of them, but you got to stop saying that.
They have helped me through some sticky situations because they're bringing solutions and answers, and not.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have a situation where you don't have the experience, and what other people do, or they've got connections to people with that experience, and that way you can navigate your way through whatever the challenge is. It's a crooked road, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't understand, and you've got people who can say, okay, this is what you got to do. You got to do this. You got to do this. You got to do this other thing, right? It can be about anything, and I don't want to target it, right? But so that's what's really, and to me, as a consumer in a shop, or I'm buying from suppliers, I'm buying from distributors. The more that they do this, the more that I've got brand loyalty to them, and that's the experience. That's how I think. I know there's some people, it's just the cheapest crap we can get. That's where we're going. I don't believe that works, right? And because there's always something cheaper, and if you don't have a relationship, when your back's up against the wall, is somebody going to put 5 gallons of metallic gold ink in their car and drive it to you? Because I've had my ink rep do that, right?
Absolutely.
Hey, I know we can't ship that to you fast enough. Let me deliver it for you.
Yep.
Right? That's what we want, right?
Yep, exactly. It's going that little extra mile, and that's a partnership. And in the days that we're in of keyboard ordering, which is fine, but you better have that partnership of where you're ordering online from.
Right.
Because when you get to that point, and Marshall, this brings us to our next subject too, which is, I knew what the product in there. Time to learn. You're important, because who are you learning this from? Yes, you can go to a show and you can take Marshall's class or my class or Lon Winter's class. You can call Richard Greaves and learn everything that all of us know on there, and that's fine. But who's going to be showing you? Do you know what's new out there on there? Have you thought about this? Who knows your business intimately?
Yeah.
When I realized I was doing better when I just wasn't a guy slinging ink out there to the industry, and this is in the 90s. And I was still fairly young in industry, and it was a graphic printer, and their new vice president of manufacturing and I were having lunch, and he told me, he goes, the owners of this company and the production manager said, Alan seems like he's more of an outside employee than a vendor for us. And so we respect that. He's always a phone call, because there was no computers back then, a phone call away. And it might not be the answer they want to hear, but here's the truth. Hey, have you seen this? Let me see what I can do. Let me see what strings I can pull. Right. What can I do? And I couldn't go get product because it was 5 hours away, but you did what you could. And that was one of the best compliments I had. But, when you're trying to learn stuff, going, let me show you, this is where things come in, where I pulled a guy that I saw had just got a blue water machine and all that. Well, he was using screen opener on press. So after they revived me from passing out due to anxiety, I show him a new product, and he's going, this is incredible. Yeah. And his guy's going, that stuff I hated and all that. So they order it right away.
So, all right. So the reason
you're showing them stuff to learn, you're showing them, we're talking about squeegees, we're talking about this and all that. I don't sell any of that stuff. Now I'm their guy.
So the reason why I want to talk about this is yesterday, my first class, before, if you've taken one of my classes, you know that if you come in, I'm going to talk to you. Like, I don't just stand at the podium. Like, before the class starts, I'm going to ask questions about your shop, because I'm generally interested in everything. And I started talking with this young woman. Her name was Beth. She was an employee. The owner did not come to the show, right? Mm-hmm. Beth, said, I need to go to this show. I need to learn, right? This was a small company. There's only 2 employees, Beth and the owner. And so she's like, look, I need to get this education. I need to understand this stuff. She's kind of newer into the industry, like maybe a year or 2, whatever. And this was the first opportunity that she took. And she insisted, she was telling me, she insisted on coming to this thing. And the reason why she picked this show was obviously location. She was like 30 or 45 minutes away in some little town. I don't know. She told me the town. She goes, you don't know where that is. I go, you're right.
You're absolutely right.
and anyway, but here's the thing is, the owner was not teaching her this stuff.
Yep.
Okay. Because frankly, the owner doesn't know either. Right. And so, and then after the class, she was like, this is the best thing I've ever done, was taking the time to understand this stuff. And so I just think, a lot of times owners come to trade shows.
Yep.
Okay. But who really needs the trade show experience are the employees. 100%. Who really needs to take these classes are the employees. Who really needs to read the book or get the hands-on demo or the lunch and learn or whatever are the employees. And I can tell you from talking with tons of shops, that's rare. And so you see, there's a trade show, name your show, it doesn't matter what it is. Yep. Most of the people coming are the owners, right? It's rare that you've got somebody with like a mother duck and her little ducklings through the show, and they're all from the same shop, right? You see that, but as a percentage, I would say that's probably under 10% somewhere of what the incentives are. But I think
who did you think of right then when you said that?
What?
When you said mother duckling and the ducklings, there was one of your clients you introduced me to that I thought of instantly.
I wasn't thinking of anybody in particular. So,
no. I mean, who bring we had dinner with Draw the Line Tees, and that's great. Brought their whole crew, incredible.
That every employee went to the show in Atlantic City.
Right? Oh
yeah, and so, but what I'm saying is that we have to get the industry knowledge in their brains. And we've been around for a long time, and a lot of this stuff is like falling off a chair.
Yep.
Somebody who's just started, they don't know any of this stuff. And it's not like it's a secret, right?
Right.
They have to get this information somehow, right? And how are they going to get it? Who are they listening to? And the other thing I think, and we had this conversation, was she was confused. And the reason why she was confused was I watched these guys on, name your social media channel. It was like, and it's so contradictory and I can't figure it out. Right. And then after our class that I did with Lon, somebody else said the same thing. I heard that from two different people, where as an industry, we're getting conflicting information about what works and what doesn't work. And we don't know who to trust and stuff. And Lon said something interesting, which was, okay, he's like, who knows what they're doing? Is the people who've been teaching this for 3 decades that have gray hair.
Yes.
It's like the people who are your age showing stuff on YouTube, they probably don't know everything yet.
Yeah. Because they haven't experienced everything.
That's a great answer, right?
Yeah. So, although Lon's been around, his hair's not graying though, and it bothers me.
I don't know. Look, he got some gray in there.
Is he? Okay.
He's got some gray in his goatee.
True. And this is something that brings up, Marshall, on this, because there are people, the education is so important. How many times as shows have you and I talked to clients where, like, when the one show decided one year we're not having education, or they don't see value in it. And how many customers that I have going, what do you mean they're not? I can't find it. And I go, it's not theirs. They're not doing it this year.
Yeah.
I'm not bringing my staff then.
Yeah, we're not going.
Yeah.
So, and I think here's the thing is that, there's regional shows and there's the big shows, right? And I think the regional shows are needed, right? And I totally get why they're smaller. It's just because, some of the big boys don't participate in that. So that really drives the attendance. But I think if there's such a need for education, and look what Rock's doing right now with their traveling print lab. Have you seen that? Where they've got, I don't know, like a 30 city tour. It's like a rock band.
Haven't really seen it.
Gail with Rock is setting up an auto in the middle of a parking lot somewhere, and they have hundreds of people coming by to learn how to print. Okay. And it's amazing. And it's like they're bringing the education to people, right? Yeah. So I think, fundamentally, this industry needs to revamp how they're thinking about education and what they're doing and what they're offering and how we're demonstrating just the basic stuff. It doesn't have to, of course, we could talk about specialty prints and all this stuff because that's really engaging, right? But what we're not teaching is how to make a profit, right? Yeah. How to do marketing, right? And how to rethink things, because things change so fast. Yeah. It's hard to keep up. And like, I struggle with it. Like, I don't know everything, right? And so, it's just it's a constant struggle. It's a constant battle, right? So I just want to throw that out.
Right.
So
we got some people that have said some stuff.
Yeah. So Jesse says it's down Periscope.
Yep.
Right. I watched that movie, and that's a remarkable movie. I didn't think it was any, I watched it when it came out, I think. Yeah.
Did you like it, Marshall? No?
I can't remember. Right.
Yeah. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah. All right. Example of the printer manufacturer's dream that went south, MSC. What is that? What is MSC? Yes, expensive. They had any bolt, drill bit, and machine in stock. They have been online for years now. When you have to have it now, it's worth the just in price.
I've never heard of it. So interesting. Sounds like it's like a Granger or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Good morning, gentlemen, from Hurley. Yeah. And Richard says, for expertise, look for the wide hair part.
Or the no hair.
Yeah, that's great. So, we really blew past that one. We got to get to our next thing, right? So here's the next one, and I think it ties into some things a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Why are your customers buying from you? I think you need to understand that. And I know Tracy's on here. She's doing a survey right now, which is one of the reasons why I want to throw this in here. I think it's really, you have to understand why are we here, right? like why and since we're talking about trade shows, why do people show up to trade shows? Do the people who run these trade shows, do they know the answer to that? When we're selling our decorated apparel, our banners, our stickers, our laser engraved mugs or whatever, why are they ordering that from you? Do we know the answer to that question? Right. And I think a lot of times we don't. We just assume we know. We've never really asked.
Right.
Right. And then and what you really want to know is your top customers, the people who are really making that impact on your company. Why are they buying from you? And I have a sneaky suspicion that you think it's one thing and they're going to tell you something different.
Right.
Because you think it's about X and they're going to tell you it's about something else. Right. And I think you really need to find the real answer to that question. And whether that's a survey or a phone conversation or whatever it is, like, why are you doing it? Why are you buying from me? What are you doing? Right. I think could be a really good thing. What do you think about that, Alan? Have you, in your past experience, have you ever asked that question to a customer?
Yes, I have asked it. When I was younger, I didn't, because I was always afraid of the answer. Because I was always afraid they were going to bring up, well, I'm buying from you, but I'm looking elsewhere. I didn't want to.
Yeah, that's the ostrich in the sand.
Yeah. So, but that's typical young guy. Now, when I ask, so why do you? And usually it's an answer because the product works. I have great distribution. I have a partnership with and you came in and showed me different.
Yeah.
It's usually something like that. Now it's becoming, with Blue Water Auto Reclaims going, it's what everybody is looking at. It is all the rage. And we are having great success. We're not having failure in there. We're having incredible value on it. So and our marketing is going up where people are posting stuff. And I know one of the guys was just out in Pennsylvania and got interviews and did some filming and stuff like that on all of it. And we're upping our marketing too, because it's that stuff, because it's not just, you got to have, it's the sizzle and the steak. You can have sizzle, but if there's nothing behind it, that smoke screen's going to go away going, oh, it was just charcoal sizzling, nothing good. And when it goes out, it's there. But now it's an incredible product, incredible customers. We're excited about it, and people are talking about it. And it's all about marketing, but you got to have something behind it.
Greg's here. Hey, Greg.
And I know they did get some interviews with people of what, why they bought, how it's going with them. And the next interviews want to be of people that have had competitive machines going, why did you switch?
Yeah, Greg says remove a pain point for the customer.
100%. And, the pain point comes from there of, we've talked about this before in selling of, where is your bottleneck at? Sometimes if you're a doctor, going, well, the problem is you have a hangnail and you're missing that, you're bleeding from your jugular.
Yeah.
When economy's good and people are just making money hand over fist, sometimes companies are just going so fast they don't have to and go, I just need to change this, which might just be a hangnail. But sometimes the salespeople, when you're providing a service, a product and stuff, you got to help them with their pain points going, do you realize that you're doing this, you're focused on this, but you are hemorrhaging production time, stuff like that, and have the solution.
Here's what I'll tell you also, like, right now the economy is great, right? But has the market shifted? Are people buying other things? Are they not buying from you? Have they, they're, instead of ordering 1,000 shirts, now they're doing print on demand. Well, you're not set up for that, or whatever, right?
Because while the economy might be strong, the optics of it and what people are feeling is not. And that's where the numbers may say one thing, but the real deal is there, and it makes people nervous, and that's what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. But so they're doing other things, but they're buying. People are buying stuff. They're just not buying what you're offering. So
Right.
are you not offering the right thing? That's the problem. If everybody, let's just talk about a different thing. If
Yep.
everybody is buying apples and you're trying to cram oranges down their throat and
Not
it's just not ever going to land because that's not what they want. And you've been having great success over the years selling oranges, and you can't believe that the apples are where everybody's going. And you're all about, I'm not going to sell apples because I'm an orange guy, right? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. And I know because I've got tons of customers who are having their best year ever. And it's because they have retooled what they're doing and they're focusing on different things that they have in the past, right? And that's the lesson, right? You gotta do it. So we have to really understand our customers more than anything. And if we don't know that, we're not going to be in alignment, and you're not going to have success, right? I think that's the challenge. And color reel is a good example of that, right? Did we solve a problem that nobody has?
Well, and you have to always keep figuring out what are the problems on there. We've had some people, and so we're testing some new stuff. I tested a new product with my boss right before 4th of July. And the other guys has done stuff where I'm some pretty good success in our quick cleans. We're pretty excited about it. Yeah. And then there's some new products coming out that I'm real excited about. They're sending me a sample because I want to try it with someone. And you got to always keep inventing. While Easyway may be the largest manufacturer of screen chemicals on there are still pockets where we are weak at or don't have a solution for.
Right.
Some of it might be a me too, where a dealer's going, I don't want to have to carry an extra SKU. We can grab that market share. Could be a new product of something we don't have in our offering.
Well, you can collaborate with other people too, right?
100%.
It could be a entirely different market than printing, because you guys do a certain thing, right? Maybe you can collaborate with people who need help in something you've never even considered, right?
Well, the two products, one is it's for the glass industry and for a pad print are the ones I have.
Right.
So yeah, we always talk here because textile and stuff, but what I do is, and I need to, and I've talked to Jesse more about, that functional, and it's a little bit harder to get into, but once we can get in, we do have some offerings that are pretty good. That glass printing thing is real difficult, but once you're in it, you can really get some stuff. And basically it's called functioning and plant printing, which these people do not consider themselves to be screen printing. It's just all part of manufacturing.
Yeah, but again, why would anybody buy from you, right? So just really understanding that nugget, right? And so I think that, whether it's
100%.
selling Easyway stuff or a decorated T-shirt, right? What problem you're solving, and do you understand that, or are you just selling? You're just selling the print.
Me too. Yeah.
Right. And one of the things I taught yesterday in my class is, like, if somebody calls your shop and says, "Hey, I need some shirts," and your first question to them is, "Okay, how many? When does it due?" You're doing it wrong. Right? Because the first question should be, "Tell me about what you need the shirts for." Right? Because that's a whole different conversation, because you're looking to solve the problem. Are they trying to sell the shirts? So they're giving them away? Is it for their best customers? Is it for their employees? And so if we know a little more about it, we can be more specific with the solution that we're offering. Plus, can we sell them other things? Right. And so it's just really about how we approach that. Right. And understanding we're in the solution business more than anything. Right.
And that's where on this one product, it's like, okay, that's a solution to a problem that a brand new customer has that I'm trying to help them with, and I didn't quite have a solution. Well, now we're talking about this new product, like, bing, light bulb went on right there. Let's give this a shot. So you got to be the doctor. You got to be a solution. You got to have a solution, but that comes with conversation and knowing your client, knowing what market. If you're trying to be the me too, then they're going to be the me too anyways. Also. Yeah. I can go to Marshall, I can go to Alan, I can go to Richard, I can do whatever. I can go to XYZ screen print, I can go to XYZ embroidery, I can do this, whatever. And so you make yourself irrelevant almost.
Right. All right. One last topic. We got time, Alan.
Go.
All right, it's July. right? If you're doing marketing for your business, marketing, by the way, is the activity you do to create a customer. Okay.
Yep.
You should be about 6 to 8 weeks out with your sales thinking, right? So start thinking now about creating the content for late August and September, right?
Mhm.
So that's going into the fall. If you do any type of stuff for schools, this is all about what's going on. This is also thinking about what you might be doing for holiday, right? Leading up, we need to really kind of start thinking about this stuff. And because what'll happen is you get super busy and then you put it off. And then what happens is now you need something for tomorrow because you just realized whatever and you can't do it.
Right.
And so what I'm thinking here though is we just really need to get ahead with this stuff. What do you need? Are you spending the time? What are you doing? How do you schedule it? And here's the kicker. It doesn't have to be you putting the stuff together.
Right.
Right? You could use software. You could use a virtual assistant. You could hire a marketing team. You could have one of your employees do it, right? You could have a college intern build it. There's a lot of solutions to this stuff, right? But we need to be thinking ahead all the time and just build out a calendar, build out the content that you want. Where is it showing up? What solutions are you are you showing? And then is it directed to folks, right? And so this book, Gary Vee's new book, he talks about that at length, about spending the time and creating stuff for the audience, right? And understanding what your audience is consuming and building whatever that is for them to consume. And he wants you to do it like a million times a day, right? You can't do it enough, right? And so for most businesses and industry, it's really hard for them to create posts that are 5, 6, 7 posts a day, all day, every day, going crazy, right? It's really hard to do. But so what could you do that's going to resonate with your audience so they look at it, right? And then where are they looking at it, right? Who are you directing this material to? Those are the questions we should be asking. And then what do we really need? And here's the thing, can you do a test or several tests? We do a video, we post it here, we post it there. What time of day? What's the headline? What's the thumbnail? What's the link? What's the call to action? And we're doing these things so we can learn more about our audience, so we can like fine tune what we're saying. And then here's what I'll tell you is that this constantly shifts and evolves, and what you were doing last year or even a month ago might not be relevant now. That's the crazy part. And this is what I think people miss sometimes is, first off, you just got to do it ahead of time, right? If you're, be thinking about what you want and what you want to have, right?
Oh, absolutely.
What do you think about that?
Again, I just came off of a meeting before this show, and we're looking downstream, like right now on marketing. We're looking downstream for what's the next big show for us. It is going to be impressions, and the marketing is going to change. And because we've done some rebranding, so one, we got to update some other things, but we were going through some of our information going, wow, this was cool 3 years ago, but man, how has the company changed? Because we have, and we've got to start redoing this all. And really excited about some of the things that are coming out of how we're changing it. But you got to be getting ahead, and it can't be, oh, we need to do this and it get done in a week. No, you got to be looking 6 months ahead. What are you doing for next year? What are you doing for 8 weeks from now? And so, it's always evolving. It's nothing where, okay, good, I'm glad that's done. No, it'll be done, and then you got to look at it again and keep going.
Does your marketing team use KPIs and metrics to make
that? I have no idea. I do not get involved in that. Yeah. I do not know what they do, how they do it, or what they come up with unless they ask me.
Not to put you on the spot. I'm just curious.
Yeah. I'm to the point where in my career where I'm like, I will give them advice. They have asked me on some things. There have been a couple posts that I know they didn't see it, and I've called other sales by going, what the freak? Who is vetting this stuff? it happens. I guess it's better than no marketing and all, and it's happening very, very few times. But they do. I think they are really watching it. We have some new people in there that have really taken a hold of that and started doing it. That's what their job is, and they're really starting to watch the clicks, what's going on, and where it's going at. So
well, clicks and views are vanity metrics. It's all about sales.
And then we're looking to see
what's the call to action. What can we do?
That I don't know. So
you want to get people into the lead funnel, right? Right.
And that's what it is for the salespeople going, what do we need to get us into the lead funnel? The social media posts and stuff is good. That gets the buzz going on there. But what are we doing to pull that into there? It gives us credibility, like on a Blue Water machine where people are going, easy solve 701 for me. When I'm talking to someone, they're going, you know what? We're using something else, but everybody is talking about this product.
Right.
What do you think, Alan? I go, well, yeah, because that product is incredible.
Yeah.
Compared to what you're doing. And one guy just said, I told him this week, I said, look, this is a premium product. What you're using now, it'll be infinite better, but it comes with a premium price. But he started telling me all the issues they're having because of it. I go, that's not a machine issue. I said, that is a product issue.
Right.
And then that's not a distributor. That's a manufacturing issue. And he's having trouble getting it. I go, I don't know. I go, here's the solution I did. And we just wrote it out. This, and this. Bam. And so, but that conversation came because he's seeing everything on there going, all I hear about is Easy Way. Well, good. Because we're used a lot out there.
Simon says views, trends, and history all play a factor, but a good gut goes a long way.
100%.
Right.
Well, and now it's the FOMO, the fear of missing out. They're going, what am I missing out? I'm having problems here. These problems aren't having it. Now, as I drill down, their shop's different. It's one of the few 100% water-based. Okay, right. So that's a little different solution, but I had a solution already.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so, marketing is such a big topic, right? Yeah. And I think especially smaller shops that don't have a lot of employees, it's like the last thing they get to.
Right.
And, when you talk to people, like, they're having problems with sales. They don't have any customers, and they start talking about different things. And, and it's like they're just one person doing everything. They don't have time for it. They don't have time to think. They don't have to. They're tired of working 100 hours a week, and you just can't seem to get everything going. It's like, okay, well, you need to get more people.
Yeah,
you need to get some software. You need to get a virtual assistant. You get some interns. You need to offload some of this stuff, and that way the stuff gets handled. And that's the important thing. And remember, done's better than perfect, right? Let's get it done, right? And then let's learn from that and just keep pushing forward, right? That's kind of the thing that I think could really help a lot of people. Is just quit waiting, start now.
Well, I have a meeting and it'll actually be with my virtual assistant with Cheryl, and it'll be Saturday night for her because she has stuff and all that. She goes, I can do this night. I go, perfect. So that's Saturday morning with me, Saturday night with her on there of some things that are nothing to do with our industry. Going, okay, because all she's been doing is putting together a database for me now.
Yeah.
Okay, good. But now here are two things I just thought of. I go, now we got projects I want to work on.
Yeah, right.
So absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. So we're rounding up here. Got a couple minutes or so left. So
let's talk Shirt Lab.
Yeah. So we've got Shirt Lab Nashville. We got just a couple spots left. Okay. Would love to see you guys there. Early bird tickets right in real soon. Our hotel block that we have ends today, right? So if you want a cheaper hotel room, it's going to be about a block and a half or so from the venue. You need to get your thing going today, right? Otherwise,
I'm actually doing that today.
Right? But you need to take care of that, right? So And so this is going to be simulated process steps. That's the main driver of the day, is learning how to take a raster image, which is Photoshop, and separate that into spot color channels. And of course, everybody always thinks it's some huge 10 color crazy monster. Okay. Well, it could be a 2-color, 3-color, 4-color thing. Okay. How do you get this file printed, right? And everybody always says everything has to be vectored, which is totally wrong. You can just, if you know how to do this stuff, you can just separate the file and it'll print great, right? But what happens is people just don't know how to do this, and that's what we're showing you how to do. And we've got the early part of the day. I'm going to talk about art workflow. We're going to have a little thing in there about AI. It's not like the whole day, it's just a little bit. Mm-hmm. But the main part of the day is learning how to do simulator process steps. We've got 2 excellent teachers. One is Dan Campbell, who comes on here sometimes. The other is JJ McCampbell. Both of these fellows have been doing this for 3 decades. Dan is a former Disney artist. He also worked for M&R installing the iImage computer to screen systems. JJ does a lot of stuff with print production and training and just a lot of general shop knowledge. And of course, I've got all the stuff I've done my whole career. So we've got folks that really know how to do stuff. And this event is for your artists, so as a business owner, right, this is for the people who are doing your artwork, right?
Yep.
You can certainly come, okay? But this is a bring your laptop with Photoshop on it. We're going to give you a file, and we're going to work that file in class on how to separate it so it's going to be perfect, right? And we're going to be doing that with several projects. So this is going to be a hands-on training where the instructors are walking around helping you adjust whatever, talking about things. And I think we've never done this before, but I think it's such a needed thing for the industry because, here's the fact, there's great software that does the steps for you, but you end up having to tweak the files anyway.
Right.
I've never used any of that software ever. Right. And I could set a file in like 2 seconds. Right. Why would I? Right. If you know how to do it, and by the way, as you know me, I'm such a perfectionist. It's got to be exactly right. Why am I putting that in the hands of somebody else? Right. Yep. So I want it because I know how it's going to print. That's why I think this is so powerful. If you're out there watching, we would love to see you sign up. It's going to be a great event. We have a networking event Friday night from 7 to 9. We're giving away a Stahl's Hottronics free Vision IQ hat press with our famous rock, paper, scissors tournament. And then we've got all day Saturday learning. And then we've got a dinner Saturday night. We've got your breakfast, lunch, and dinner covered for Saturday, right? So it's going to be a good thing, right? All you got to do is sign up. So you go to shirtlablive.com early bird for tickets. You can save $100 if you sign up right now. And then that's pretty much it. So
yep. I actually wrote it down because some people I talked to, I got to send them the link.
Yeah. So let's get signed up.
Yep.
We've got a lot of fun going to happen. And so I think everybody who comes is really going to just be blown away. And these skills that you're going to learn at this, these are career-changing skills that you'll have for the rest of your life. This is where this stuff comes from, is attending these things and doing the work, right? So, all right. Last word, Alan. What you got?
Nothing. Have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy, remember, take the time, enjoy life. Life is short. There's a lot of people that are, ailments come up, things happen. Make sure that, what we talk about is important. Your business is important. Yeah. Make sure, man, take care, spend the time with your family, your friends, stuff like that. So,
right. All right, guys, we'll see you next week. Take care.
Have a great one.
See ya.